is a dollar figure. There's one place that comes up with a dollar figure. It was just.
Good evening and welcome to the May 11th, 2023 Planning Board meeting. There, now we're official. We're here. We really don't have anything on the agenda except for a work session, and my thought was to discuss the zoning that Mr. Pastor Bill already brought up. I know Bruce wants to look at detached ADUs, and you know, I say that because I assume he does again. And about 2 weeks ago, Plan Link had a thing where somebody in Hillsborough was looking at detached ADUs, and everybody, not everybody, but 4 or 5 people sent their ordinances to her. She has sent them to us. So that'll help Bruce out with that, that's for sure. Just little tweaks. I'm gonna look at the wetland thing. I know that.
The setback issues?
Yes.
We also-
Setbacks and buffers.
Yeah, and we were supposed to discuss that a while ago.
We also need to bring back up private roads. Because we have conflicting
Yes, we
thoughts in our present document. So whether we remove the verbiage and leave it as is, because I'm not even certain that the protocol that we have that was established between all the boards is legit,
I'm not even worried about that.
so.
You mean the little diagram,
The flow
Yes.
chart?
the flow
The
chart,
flow
that's what I
chart.
wanted.
Because I think when we added Article 37 is what we presented, isn't even part of the document.
We don't have an article here, so.
No, it never got added.
That's back, I can't remember, 2020.
Must have been, this is 2019, there's not a 37 on it.
Right. But it's after the fact, so we changed it after the fact, like it was spring of 2020, March of 2020 is when it was presented and it was approved. And then by June, it was revealed by the town council that it wasn't legit.
It conflicts with the ordinance says no building unless on
Correct.
private roads.
Correct.
Right.
So looking at, if you can look at the ADUs, Bruce, that Deering, Henniker, Hopkinton, and Dunbarton permit those. So they may have some language to look at.
Yeah, I looked at a bunch of them already. I don't think I have to make any drastic changes. But there were some good ideas on a few of them, so. And some clarifying points that I didn't have in that one we did, so.
Right. So we tabled that, right? We tabled ADUs?
Yeah.
There was something else that we presented, but didn't make it past the first meeting of the town. What was that?
That was that thing that Tony wanted, I got him,
Campers.
Oh, he reviewed that.
yeah, the campers.
Camping, yes. That got squashed at the
Yeah, that would have been Article 38.
deliberative session, right?
We squashed it.
We squashed it here when,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
first meeting in January or something, when I was not here.
Yep. Then I wasn't here for the next one, and I was in, I forget where, Florida, I think, and then the second meeting, it was changed, I got rid of completely.
My thought is that the grant is gonna go to the selectmen. And personally, I have a feeling it's not gonna get approved, so therefore, we're not gonna worry about the grant. At least until the selectmen sign it, which should be a month anyway.
They're going to talk about it amongst themselves at the next select board meeting.
If anything happens, good. If it doesn't happen, okay, we'll move on.
No, I think they're gonna have Southern Hampshire Planning come in June.
Who?
Southern Hampshire Planning come in June.
Why Southern Hampshire Planning?
They're the ones that helped fill out the application to discuss, I think, more
Questions.
about the grant.
Could you send us an email when that meeting be? I'd like to go to
Yeah, I
that.
think it's gonna be the first Monday. I think it's the 5th We haven't set the agenda yet. Are you guys all subscribed? You'll get the notice for the agenda,
I get it.
the selectmen's agenda?
No, I guess I should subscribe.
Yeah, I don't either, but I probably should.
I do.
So
I get it twice.
the,
Send one to me.
the zoning, proposed 2023 zoning amendments that we tabled were the ADU, private roads. There were 6 that we discussed on January 12th. And the building code passed, non-conforming lots passed, residential camping there was approved here,
But, yeah,
but it got squashed at deliberative session, right?
No, nothing gets squashed at deliberative session. You can't, zoning things can't get squashed. They're not even talked about at deliberative session.
yeah, it got, the residential camping part, didn't that get,
We squashed it
We
here.
squashed it.
Well, I
here.
don't have minutes that says that, but we may have.
Yeah, it got squashed here.
it got squashed?
Yeah,
There was a vote not to move it forward to the ballot, not this year.
Yeah.
There's some more homework needs to be done.
Anybody else have any pet peeves?
Yeah, I got one, but it's a big one, but I don't know if I want to bring it up.
You can bring it up, may not do anything about it.
Rentals. I'm kind of waiting to see what else happens in another town.
Are you gonna keep us in the dark?
Rentals.
What, like Airbnb?
Yeah.
type deal?
So, did you see that the one short-term rental man from North Conway, one is,
Yeah, but, but that was not, that was completely different than how we're trying to do it.
okay,
That was a totally, I mean, people want to equate the two, but they're not equatable at all.
And North Conway in that area is mostly short-term rentals because of winter and
Right.
certain times of the year, and that's what they live on.
There was North Conway trying to restrict it in certain zones, and we're not restricting any zone at all, so.
correct, right.
So it's like,
So that's
not even apples to apples.
the 4th item,
Fourth item, I got 5 on now.
or was the 5th?
Wetlands, private roads, ADUs, campers, and short-term rentals.
Okay, Pierce.
And I hate calling it short-term rentals,
Well, what else you gonna call it?
rentals.
No, it has to be short-term rentals. Because rentals fall into a different category.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
Sounds like
That's what
wetland
I'm
buffer,
kind of waiting to see what happens in another
setbacks.
town.
Okay, can you give us an
Private roads,
inkling who
how's
that
it
other
going?
town is?
Oh,
I can.
camping, residential camping, right?
Yes. We mean in campers, basically.
Yeah.
You can't remember.
I do.
It'll come to you.
I think it's Milton. Milton?
Milton has a short-term rental.
Just south of North Conway. Where's the town just south of North Conway?
Oh, you've got Madison?
Madison.
Yeah, that's got
Madison.
it. Madison's the
And
one,
Madison's working on it,
yeah.
and they're really working on it hard.
Well, they have a lot of those out there. They
Yeah,
have
I
like
lived
that,
up there.
And
They get that little, those little villages out there where they got chalets.
Oh, yeah,
for
the
Oh, yeah.
Edelweiss and all that.
Edelweiss,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yep. We paid taxes to Edelweiss and to the town.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah, you
wait-
pay it, well, your tax there is an HOA fee and the other.
But they're working on it hard. They're like looking at it the same way we
I
were.
think it's like
So is there other communities in that area, like,
Bartlett, I think, is looking at that also up there because they have a lot of those.
Bartlett had short-term rentals?
Oh, geez,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You right next to that's all part of
Storyland.
Glen, Intervale, and Bartlett are all one town. Those are suburbs.
Yeah, all part of, Attitash is right there.
Attitash, you got, the place next to Storyland, the Linderhoff
Yeah.
facility, and across the street, they have condos and so forth. They've got a whole big bunch of short-term rentals up there, or rentals.
We got into a discussion with that in Thornton a couple weeks ago, too.
I have a peeve as well if I don't want to step on anything else you had to say. If we're going to talk about rentals more. Having come from everything that ever once was living in a barn, got out of a barn on Route 102 in Londonderry, I come from that planning atmosphere. And I really think it's important with some of the commercial changes we're seeing on 114 in town, perhaps to look at how do we preserve the rural quality of the corridor.
Well. I gotta pull the map out first.
I don't, well,
This is my favorite quote from a planner, an urban planner. Growth is inevitable and desirable, but destruction of community character is not. The question is not whether your part of the world is going to change. The question is how. And that's, one of the reasons why, if the master plan says rural character, that currently exists as rural character is most important to folks in town, then my eye immediately goes to scenic roadway, scenic corridor. How do we preserve that character, even if there's going to be development there? May not happen in our lifetimes, but what we do now will impact the quality of life of people in this town for generations. That's my spiel.
Well, if you're gonna protect the 11477 corridors from commercial development, there's not very much to protect. We don't have very much commercial property. We got a bunch down by, Langtot's basically, from Gould Road up to a little past Renshaw on one side, the same way on the other side, up to, including Cold Springs.
You probably could say even up to the junction at 77, because you get Country 3 and
Well,
stuff
yeah, but you got a big rural, you got
But
a
they're
big
big
rural,
co-
you got a rural agricultural residential area in here.
big group right in between.
Then you got a little piece of that's commercial on the other side of Mount Williams, then you gotta come on this side of Mount Williams.
That's
to the-
essentially Ilsley's place.
Yeah, that's, yeah, basically, this is the entrance to Duck Pond,
Yep.
both sides of the road of Duck Pond, that's commercial. Your next commercial, is that on the other side, over by, going towards the high school?
Yep.
So we don't really have commercial to protect.
So you'd be okay if all those trees got down and it was paved with, and there were buildings there, and there was no more scenic highway there?
I did not say that. I said we don't have very much commercial.
We don't have very much. It's,
If you go and protect the district in front of Duck Pond, that commercial district there, you might as well just take the properties. I looked at it for somebody else, and most of those two lots, one's 13 acres, and there's 2 acres usable. The other one's 26 acres, and I got 5 acres usable. It's all drainage easements and slope easements and town memorial easements and public access ways going through this commercial piece. There's really nothing left to do with the commercial piece.
It's kind of nice like it is, though.
Pardon me?
It's kind of nice like it is.
If you want- I don't disagree with you, but you're restricted, if you go and put a 200-foot setback on it or something like that, or even a 100-foot setback, you're gonna wipe it out.
Well, I knew a person that rents off me, actually, that was looking at those same properties, said the same thing. There's not much you can use there.
No, you could, you could get, I got a building on both lots, but, 26 acres and only 5 of it's usable. It's not very much.
Does it say that 26 acres? That's both sides of the road,
No, that's just this side.
just this side. There's another long strip on the other
But the
side.
26 acres includes half a duck pond.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big drainage easement up the hill. Then it's really steep above that. The 13 acres is on the other side of Duck Pond Road. You got a huge slope and drainage easement along whatever that road is that's over there, Sap House Road.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 acres, only 2 acres is really any good.
so when we're using the term scenic highway, is that a legitimate scenic highway?
it's posted out there.
Yeah,
New
by the
Hampshire
state.
Scenic By, it's a scenic byway.
Yeah,
So-
John Stock Scenic Byway. the
But it's
state.
not where she's talking about. It goes to Country 3/4 down 77. It doesn't go down 114 into Goffstown.
I'm talking coming north. If you're
From-
going to Henniker, 114 is a New Hampshire
Correct,
scenic byway.
yes,
Yeah.
that's, so when you're oh, sorry, I lost
Yeah,
it.
it goes from New Boston up 77, then up 114.
Right.
From Country 3.
And it doesn't go to Henniker.
No, then it
It's
goes
right at
towards
my
Concord,
church.
back into Dunbarton and back down 13.
Down to 13.
Yeah, John Stock Scenic Highway.
So I don't know who technically, the state protects that?
I don't think anybody protects
Well, they're the
it.
ones that posted it, it's their signs, I guess.
I don't think anybody, quote, protects it.
What are the ramifications? Oh, scenic.
But I agree with
Of
the
that
concept
one,
of
not much.
the rural activity
It's not like on
component.
one of our scenic roads,
Right, it's not like, I don't know, take a pick.
Mount Dearborn, yeah.
Mount Dearborn, 'cause everybody always talks about that one, right? Where you can't cut trees, you can't do anything inside the right of way
Without a public hearing.
Without a public hearing and planning board approval, basically.
Didn't that get rescinded?
No.
No, that was the
The overlay district.
That was the overlay
historic district got
It's
rescinded.
historic, different, good, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Thorndike's scenic, I don't know, you probably know the scenic ones better than I do.
Yeah, that old corner over there,
Yeah.
Thorndike. I don't know
Slab
about
City.
Thorndike.
No, not
I don't know
Thorndike,
what
Tiffany,
Hill.
Tiffany's what
Tiffany Hill,
Tiffany's what I
yeah.
was thinking.
Hill.
I wasn't thinking Thorndike, I was thinking Tiffany.
Well, Danny Jean mentioned Londonderry, I mean, take a cruise down there, and you can see what you don't want.
Well, sure, but this is information news to me, is that those lots are sized so that there's almost nothing usable out of the majority of the acreage. So it seems like we are less at risk for that. However, I think it would be something to look at in the future.
The town just bought that big piece between Hemlock and coming back this way, so that won't be developed.
Up by the high school.
Yeah, conservation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, well, we had the big discussion over.
Well, coming from Mount William Pond into West Center, on the right side, there's no way anybody would know do anything with that,
Oh,
right? It's a little narrow strip between the old 114 and.
Yeah.
yep.
So that's gonna be scenic, permanent, most likely. Well, so it'll change sometime, but long term.
It's not like it's the old 114 though, the state, widen the crap out of it and improve the hell out of it in the 70s. Right?
Yeah, I don't remember when it was, but.
I just think we gotta be careful if we go and say, okay, we're gonna protect the Route 114. You may end up actually taking property without trying to.
No, well, we can't do that.
Well, you would if you put a buffer on 114 out there, you
I-
would be taking property.
I'm suggesting that we take a look at it. Is there a way to preserve the rural character? Clearly, there are limitations to what could be done, from what you're telling me. So again, this goes down, further down the list.
I mean, if you look at what commercial land we have, there's not much there.
You got one big piece around Gould Road, Renshaw Road.
Yeah, Gold
Right.
Road, Renshaw Road.
You know, I suspect there's a
Cold
lot
Springs.
of commercial home-based businesses in this town. I
There's
don't
a
know how
large,
many.
yeah.
I'm aware of quite a few.
Large
Oh,
cottage
right.
industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most of them are. That's what most of our commercial use is.
Yeah, but that preserves rural character.
And I got a client looking for a building in town, he can't find any place to put it.
What, commercial building?
Like 20,000 square feet.
It's his building.
Yeah, that's the problem. Where you put 20,000 square foot of building, you need a lot of parking, you need at least 3 acres usable. And
Does that identify all the property that is in conservation
no,
or unbuildable?
it says public, but that's not all of it. Public owned, it's not all
Fairly
of it.
old, aren't they?
So is this image reflective of that image, Bruce? This gray area is all unbuildable.
No. What was that from?
Where are you?
I'm on the zoning atlas of New Hampshire.
Oh,
Just came out.
Oh, that.
oh, is that the thing we
It's
talked
the
about?
land sales.
Oh, that's the housing thing that just came out here.
Yes.
The one that-
But it tells you all the zoning of what town does what and who does ADUs, so 5 families, et cetera. And it also identifies the property, the land masses that are not buildable.
Yes,
So looking at the corridor, if we're only looking at what the impression is, someone driving through Weare, New Hampshire, they're gonna go on the major corridors, right? 114, 77.
that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
149, the state highways.
Yeah, 149 is nothing commercial out there.
No, not till you get over into Deering.
It's way more fun to ride a motorcycle out there than it is on 114.
Yes. So we get 6 things, you said?
There we go.
If you include that, yes. Anything else? We've got 2 minutes.
Well, I think we should take a serious look at elderly, whatever we want to frame it, housing while we're looking at housing. The last plan, master plan did suggest that that's something that had some support. It actually had almost twice the support of affordable housing.
Right. Yeah, and that got brought up a couple times at selectmen's meetings over the past term when I was there, so.
You can
Because
do
they
it with a
did
dentist
the-
now, which
they-
is an improvement.
Yeah, they did a study saying that the average age of the residents here is climbing.
Yeah, when I first moved
The
here,
the younger generation's moving out, it's still the same ones that have been here, so,
our
gotta do
present
something.
median age is 45.
yeah,
20 years ago, it was 34.
that's right.
What is it now?
45.
45, 40, yeah, 45 to 50. And the younger generations are moving outbound. And there's nothing really here to take care of the older,
Well, I mean, it's like anything, it's gotta be worked on.
it's gonna be worked on, yeah.
You gotta make up your mind, this is what you're gonna do, and try it. I mean, there is a lot here.
And it's hard, the hard part is that you now, say for instance, we say we're gonna develop an elderly housing development. There's no guarantee that our community people are gonna use it. It's gonna be others from around us that are gonna say, oh, Ware's a nice town, let's move to Ware because they have this.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Similar
Yes.
to what's going down at
That happens everywhere.
at the
going to have-
Villa, across the Villa, all those 55-plus places.
Well, those are 55 plus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they weren't originally.
They're ugly and they're expensive.
Oh, yes.
You're going to
yeah.
have, you're going to have people who bought their house in 1960 at $15,000, selling for $1 million and paying
Right.
cash to move up.
And they're
And
selling as
those-
fast as they can get them done.
Those went up, because I did the work on those with Lamontagne Builders.
Yeah.
And those went up, and when they went up, they were like 325, 350,000, they're selling for 5 plus
Right.
Oh, yeah.
for those places.
The
And
Angel
far from
Angel Point
the road,
Circle in Goffstown, those
you know,
across from the school, wow.
Yeah.
I did the work on it, yeah, when they first started,
340 to 440 was the list
yeah,
price
300, it was
initially.
3 and a quarter to, if you get in there right, to 350, and then they
That was
went
2
up.
years ago.
Yeah, then they went up, I mean, they went up
Well, yeah.
overnight,
Oh, yeah, but so did everything else.
so did everything else.
I mean,
But there's housing's at a premium in this state in a lot of these places.
I'd like to
Mr. Chuck.
move that we adjourn.
do we have a second?
Second.
Everybody second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained. Let me know when I flip the switch.